these guys?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. All right. All right, well, I want to thank the media here in Nashville for coming out. What a tremendous night of boxing. Nashville certainly becoming a fight town, largely in part to Caleb Plant dominating his adversary tonight, Vincent Hagen Boots, in impressive fashion live on Fox. Alongside to my left, the strength and conditioning coach for Caleb Plant, Larry Wade, one of the best strength and conditioning coaches in combat sports. To my immediate right, a man who needs to continue to get high praise, who is one of the fastest rising trainers in boxing. He understands the game. Justin Gamber, ladies and gentlemen, to my right. And over to his right, a man who has been embedded in the fabric of boxing in Nashville. And I'm going to say a bold statement, but it absolutely reigns true. Without this man, we wouldn't be here tonight. Obviously, Caleb Plant is the champion. But this man believed in his son when he was 8, 9 years old. And now that Caleb is 27 years of age, almost 20 years later, Bridgestone Arena is rocking, millions at home watching around the world. Richie Plant is the reason why we are here today. Let's give a round of applause to Richie.
Yeah!
If he has any questions, by all means, these gentlemen are up here, and as we await the champion as well.
Mr. Plant, how you doing? Scotty White, World Combat Sports. How you feel, sir? You know, at home, dominating victory. How you feeling inside?
I feel amazing. You know, when we walked out in that stadium and we heard all those people cheering and just, you know, throughout the fight, I'm elated, over the moon. Don't know what to say, really.
Was it a little bit more than you expected?
You know, I really didn't know what to expect, but I was definitely just overjoyed when I saw how many people showed up to support us. Special moment for me.
Outstanding.
How can something like this really trigger boxing even more here in Nashville and bring more fights to this city that's really blown up in terms of just everything here in every type of sport?
Well, you know, hopefully people will just watch and see what's been going on, and you know, maybe some kids sitting at home watching that fight on TV will get motivated and you know, just believe in themselves enough to get on that road and stay on it. That's the key.
Larry Wade, strength and conditioning coach, congrats, you know, on the victory once again. Caleb had unbelievable cardio from the first all the way up to the stoppage. You know, what was going on through your head on how he systematically was breaking them down and, you know, delivering punishment and making them wear the fight?
Well, Coach Gamber and I discussed this before the fight, that there were some people out there questioning his ability to take it into the championship rounds, and I wanted, this is my selfishly, I wanted to see that, so did Coach Gamber. So we wanted to make sure if we can go to those championship rounds, it should show everyone he has no problem going into the championship rounds, and if anybody gets in that ring with him, they're going to have to be ready to go into real deep water because he's always prepared. And that's what we wanted to see as a person on the side. I just wanted to help wherever I could, you know, train the best way I could, and from that point, I'm on the backside, I'm the assistant to these guys, and honored to be that. So if it's picking up water, picking up seats, whatever I need to do on the backside, that's what I'm doing. But I was very happy with it.
Coach, what were some instructions you was giving Caleb on, you know, early on in the fight when he was having so much success against Hagen Boots?
I mean, what do you tell him when he's having that much success? You can't really change. You don't want to change too much of what he's doing because I mean, everything's working. But I thought that he could have put some jabs in a few different places. He threw a lot of jabs, but maybe there were certain spots where I felt like there could have been a few more. But other than that, I thought it was an incredible performance from Caleb. You know, another dominating shutout performance from him.
Chris Taylor here with the BTSE 365 podcast, Coach. So I noticed Caleb came out a lot in each round after the first round, very aggressive. Was that like something you guys talked about in camp, or was it just something that was happening tonight and you just like, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it?
Absolutely. It wasn't necessarily part of our game plan to come out strong each round, but, you know, I know that he's really excited for this fight. And, you know, after just a minute of rest, I know that, okay, I want to get back in there. I want to go, you know. We just needed him to, you know, find a good pace in the fight, not do more than he needed to, not do too much, especially too soon. I think the one opportunity that our opponent had would have been late in the fight in deep waters. Maybe he can hang around and find something that works for him late in the fight. But luckily, Caleb finished the show. I thought that was spectacular. He went out there and did what a champion should do: finish the show, take the opponent out of there, and not give him that opportunity that he needs to maybe get lucky, make something happen late in the fight.
Coach, this is Pedro Justice from IMO Sports TV. Did you think that Benson was playing possum at first because he wasn't throwing any punches?
Not at all. I think that Caleb gave him so many different looks and was doing so many different things that he didn't have any option but to be, stay in that shell, because the second that, he even starts to think about countering and doing something, he's already getting hit with some shot. So I don't think he was playing possum. I think Caleb, he was just very tentative, and Caleb kept him in that mode by mixing up his offense and the hand speed. I think the hand speed was too much for him.
Did you want Caleb to go to the body move?
I thought he did a good job. This guy was covering up pretty well. We could have tried to maybe take some angles and pick apart the midsection a little bit more rather than on the side and behind the elbow to the body. But I wasn't unhappy with his body work. I thought he did a good job going to the body.
When I was in Vegas, I was speaking to Caleb about his next fight, with the Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz. And I was kind of talking about his next opponent as far as unification. And he did mention David Benavidez. And I said, why David Benavidez? He said, I just don't like the guy. So are we set to see that bout coming up next?
That's not my job. That's not our job.
We don't really call those shots.
Okay.
All we can do is put out there what we want to do. At some point, if we continue on the trajectory that we're on, we'll be calling those shots. But it's not quite there yet. But we're very vocal about wanting that fight.
Is it in his boxing optics though to want to unify sometime soon in super
100%.
middleweight? Okay.
That's his ultimate goal, is to be the first unified super middleweight champion in boxing history, hold all the belts at one time. But the way that we've done it, basically management gives us a name and we don't even consider whether or not, we don't ever argue with it. We're just like, okay, that's the name we have, that's the name we're going to beat, and that's our focus, and we focus on just coming up with the best strategy to take that opponent out. We have the best management in the game, and they've done an incredible job. Our role is just to prepare him 100%, mentally, physically, emotionally, and get him ready for each fight. But we'll fight anybody, If they said, okay, you're going to fight David Benavidez tomorrow, okay, let's do it. We'll be ready. We're not hesitant to fight anybody in his weight class.
Justin, speaking of emotions, was this a more difficult fight to prepare for because of the emotional situation with being at home?
Not at all. It was another fight. We know how to hone in, focus on what we're doing. We're all very good. Everybody on this team is very good at not succumbing to the pressure and not feeling like we need to do more than we need to. It was just another fight. It was a great experience. We're all really excited about it, but at the end of the day, we came in and we were focused on the task at hand and just being the same team, making sure that Caleb was the same Caleb that he always has been.
With this turnout tonight, fellas, in Nashville, then on PBC and Fox and everything, is that something you guys would try to work with management and those at the top to do more of? Is to try to get more fights down here in Nashville?
Sure. Anytime we could come home and put on a show for the folks, the home folks, we'd be glad to do it. But really, the ring's the same pretty much everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Once you get inside and the bell rings, it's the same. So either way, we're cool.
We would love to. We'd love to come back. It just depends on what they want. But I think it was a great experience. It was better than I didn't really have any expectations, but it was really awesome. It was really awesome. The crowd, not only was there a lot of people, but it was a really awesome, very excited crowd, and I felt that energy throughout the course of the fight.
Coach Wade, after a spectacular performance, what did Caleb say to you back there, if anything?
The same thing he'd tell us all at the end of the fight. Thank you, I love you, and we move forward. We definitely appreciate the fight and appreciate the performance. but I can promise you in another 24 hours, we're going to already be thinking about how we can improve what we did on this fight. That's just kind of how as coaches we look at things, especially team plant. That's what we do. 24 hours, we're going to be talking about what we didn't do right, what more we can add to it just to make it better. And he expects that of us as well. So I'm grateful for the performance. He came out healthy, and now we move on to the next one.
Outstanding.
And you say the next one. So how many more fights this year do you see Caleb being involved in?
Hopefully 2.
It's hard to say.
I'd like to see 2 more times, honestly. Maybe one in the summer, one in late in the year. But you know, it's just whatever they decide to do with him, we'll be ready, 100% always. And he's going to improve. You'll see a better version next time around.
Absolutely.
It's already on social media. They're making memes saying Canelo don't want that smoke.
Hey, we'd love to fight him.
Yeah. Well,
It'd be a great fight.
Have to applaud to the fans in Nashville. I mean, they kind of mentioned it, but not only was it a fantastic turnout, but they were loud. I mean, you could tell this is such a great sports town. And look, being in this arena, there's a reason why the Bridgestone Arena is one of the loudest, if not the loudest, in the NHL when the Predators play. Trust me, being a Blackhawks fan, we don't like coming here. And there's a reason for that. And that place was rocking and shaking, and intelligent fight fans, and these gentlemen can expound on that. But I truly do believe that Nashville can be one of those sleeper fight towns. And this is just the beginning. This was Caleb Plant's first pro fight here in Tennessee. He's had to go all over the world to fight. So this is his first time here headlining, and this is the response. Can you imagine when we come back, if you were to fight here again in the near future? It's only going to continue to get bigger and better. And Nashville, thank you so much for coming out and supporting, because you guys are unbelievable and one of the best sports towns in America today. Any other questions?
Absolutely, I agree.
Yes.
I wish I had his voice.
Don't we all?
My wife would love me so much.
And we also love the media, because you guys, as I look through the media, I see a lot of familiar faces here, from the pre-fight press conference a month ago to the press conferences and to the workouts. It's one thing that these gentlemen have to handle business because of what they have to do. But it's another thing for all of you to leave your families and, come out here, cover the sport, do it with respect, and give the proper story behind what these world-class fighters and the world champion is all about. So we are very thankful to the media here in Nashville. Give yourselves a round of applause for everything you've been able to do for us. So, I don't think we have any other questions. Any questions for these guys? That way they can go and enjoy a nice meal and maybe hit up Broadway or whatever.
I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat.
Yeah, so.
I'm old. I'm going to bed.
I'm gonna go eat.
Well, we're gonna wait for the champion. We'll let these guys go.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you
Thanks, you guys.
Jerry Wade.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. We'll be back in a few moments with the champion.